In today's video, I show you how to install and configure Jellyfin. Jellyfin is a volunteer-built media solution that puts you in control of your media. Stream to any device from your own server, with no strings attached. Your media, your server, your way. It's like Plex, but open source. Let's get Jellyfin set up. While there is no official TRaSH guides for Jellyfin, I'm going to show you how to set it up to take advantage of the TRaSH guides file structure, plus other settings to get the most out of Jellyfin. The first thing we're going to need to do is to set up our own folder structure to match TRaSH guides structure. We're going to need a data share with subdirectories for media, movies, TV, music, photos, etc. Let's get the data share set up first. If this is your first time setting up any kind of TRaSH folder structure, let me show you what you're going to need. We're going to go to Shares. We're going to create a new data share, which I've already got one here. If you don't have one, you'll click down here on Add Share. We'll put in the share name as data. Comments, you can put in whatever you'd like. I'm going to put in data share for all media. And since this is going to be a media share, there's going to be a lot of reading and writing to it. I'm going to make sure that this is set to cache and then enable write on auto. Secondary storage, we want to be the array. So it's going to go to the cache drive first, and then when the mover runs, it'll move it to the array. I'm going to include all disks. Make sure the mover action says cache to array, which is what it is by default. Once you're done with that, go ahead and hit add share. Like I said, I already have one, so I'll just go back to my shares and show you the contents of that. And as you can tell, pretty much the same thing I just told you. Name of the share is data, comment, it's going to the cache drive, secondary storage is array, and the cache to array. Now you've got the share set up on the server. If you're on a Windows machine, you're going to need to change it so that you can get into it from that machine. To do that, let's go into our share. So I'll click on data. We're going to scroll down. Under SMB security settings, we're going to set export to yes. And this will make it so Windows machines will be able to see the files. Once you've got that set, go ahead and hit apply, and then done. Now let's browse to it and we'll set up some more folders within it. Now I'm going to open my file explorer. To get to it, it's going to be the // and then the IP address of your server. Mine is 10.0.0.11. Throw in another / and then the name of the share, which is data, then press enter, and it comes up. If yours doesn't come up, go back to your data share and recheck all the settings to make sure you didn't miss anything. Over in the File Explorer, you can see I've already got a bunch of folders in here. I'll run you through the basic folder structure for TRaSH guides. The first thing you're going to want to do is to create a share called Media, just like here. Right-click, New, Folder, Media. After you have media created, go ahead and open it up. You're going to create additional media shares for the things that you'd like. So movies, TV shows, music, photos, that kind of stuff. You'll notice on mine I've got some other categories because I've done other things for audiobooks and ebooks and that kind of stuff. Once you've got all those created in media, I'll just select all of them, copy, then we'll go back one level, go back to data. We're going to need another share here called torrents, and if you're using Usenet, then you'd want one for Usenet as well. I typically create them, that way if I do need them, they're already there. So right-click, new, folder, call it torrents. Do the same thing again for Usenet. Once those are created, go ahead and open up torrents, and then in here, I paste the folder structure that we just copied in there, so all of these basically. I've got data in them, so I'm not going to copy it over. Once those are all copied in, we're going to go back another level. We're going to go back into Usenet. In here, we want a couple of folders, one called complete and one called incomplete. Incomplete is going to be empty, and then complete, once again, we're going to paste in all those folders. So when you're done, your folder structure should have media, torrents, and Usenet. Inside of media, you're going to have all your media categories. Inside of torrents, you're going to have those same media categories. And then under Usenet, you're going to have complete and incomplete, which incomplete is empty, and complete is going to have those same media folders again. Now, if you have existing media on your server somewhere, at this point is when you would want to move it into the proper locations. So if it's existing media, it's going to go under media, and then whatever it is. So if it's TV shows, you'll go under TV and paste the stuff in. If it's a movie, then open up movies and paste it in. And just like any other media program, Jellyfin is no different. It has its own preferred naming of the media files. I'll leave links to these sites below, but let me just show you real quick what the movie structure is. Jellyfin's preferred method is this here. There's a couple different methods within it here. You can have the film name and then the year .mp4, whatever the file type is. So you can have all the movies just individually placed. One file right after the other, so one movie right after the other. I personally like the second option better, where you do the film name with the year it was released. Inside of that, you have the film. And Plex's folder structure is pretty much the same thing here, but with Plex, it does have the year after it. Let me show you real quick. I typically set it up that way That way, if I'm using Plex or Jellyfin, both of them work. So here you'll see inside of movies, I've got all the movies in their own subfolders. Let's take Africa Screams for an example here. It's got the name, then the year it was released. If we open that up, and you'll see the file is named exactly as its parent folder is, dot whatever the file extension is for the video file. And then for TV, let me show you that one real quick too. Once again, pretty much the same folder structure. It's got the shows, the series name, followed by the year, and then the season. Season 00 is for specials. Season 01 is the first season, 02, second season, so on and so forth. Inside of the season folder, it's going to be the episode. Let me go show you that and some actual data. We'll go back to media, go to TV, we'll go into Beverly Hillbillies. You'll see season 1 here. We open that up, and then each file is named after the show, and then dash. The S01 stands for season 1. The E01 stands for episode 1. So now that we've got the folder structure set up, let's go install Jellyfin. Back on our Unraid server, I'm going to go to the Apps tab, go to the search box, and type in Jellyfin. I'm a fan of BinHex's repositories. I've used their stuff a lot in the past, and it's been working great, so I'm going to stick with that one. So find BinHex Jellyfin in the list, and click Install. And thinking ahead here, I know that I'm going to be using this with other BinHex containers, and that I'm going to want them to communicate back and forth. So I'm going to go ahead and set the network type right now to my custom network. I have one called Alien Proxy, so I'm going to select that. If you don't have one set up yet, it's really easy. You go up to the terminal icon up here in the top right, click on it, and then in the terminal window that comes up, we're going to type in docker space network space create space, and then a name of the network connection that you'd like. Note here, it's got to be all lowercase. I went with Alien Proxy. Once you have it set, you hit enter, and it'll say basically Docker network created. I'm going to hit enter. It's going to give me an error saying it's already existing. If you want to make sure it's in the list there, you can type in Docker network list and press enter. And then it shows you all of your Docker networks that you have. And you'll see mine is right here. Once you're done, go ahead and type exit to get out of there. All right, moving on. Scrolling down a bit, we're going to find port web interface 8096. We're going to check to see if that's available. But first, before I do that, I'm going to go down and expand to show Docker allocations to make sure that when we do a find, it's going to find all the stuff. So we'll go back up here. We'll find the port number again, double click on it. So it's highlighted, hit Control F. That'll open up the find feature within the browser. And it shows we have 2 results. If you look down here, we've got 1 here and number 2 here. What we're looking for is to make sure that we don't have anything down here listed. And we don't, so we're good. So now we can scroll back up. Next option down, we have path for the config file, which is the app data folder, and that's perfect. We can leave that alone. Next down, we have path/media. This is going to be the path within Jellyfin, so it's going to be /media, which we don't want. That'll make things complicated and not work the way we want them to. Really easy fix. Over on the right here, we're going to click on Edit. The path/media, we're going to change media to data. And then down below, container path. Once again, we're going to change this to /data. At that point, we're good. Go ahead and hit save. Now let's browse to our data location. So we'll click into this field. We're going to drop down, find our data share, select that, and that's where we want to leave it. We don't want to go any deeper. You don't want to go into media or any subfolder from there. So you should end up with /mnt/user/data. Once you've got that, go ahead and click off to the side to minimize that. We're all set here now. So we'll scroll down and we'll hit apply. Well, that's installing. Let me tell you about something that I discovered that, frankly, I find pretty amazing. Silly, I know, but I'm really enjoying it. So now that spring is kind of, starting to show up a little bit, the sunlight's out a lot more, and I'm a night owl, so I sleep in the mornings, and lately the sun's been waking me up, and it kind of sucks. So my wife said, why don't you buy some blackout curtains? I'm like, some what? I know, like I said, it sounds silly. So I looked it up, found some on Amazon, bought them, and holy goodness, wow, made a huge difference. So if you're like me, like to stay up all night, and the light's starting to wake you up in the morning, you should check out these curtains. I'll leave a link down below. You can go check them out. It's made a big difference. Oh, look at that. Perfect time. All right, all done. Once that's done, go ahead and hit done. From here, we're going to go up to the Docker tab, find Jellyfin in the list here, which for me, I have it in a folder, so it's already here because it was there before. For you, it should look something like this. We'll find it in the list here. Once you find it, over on the right-hand side, we're going to turn on auto start. So I'll switch that to on. Then I'll go back to the icon for Jellyfin, click on it, and select Web UI. And now you should see, welcome to Jellyfin. We'll start running through the wizard and get everything set up. Preferred display language, I'm going to choose English. Hit next. Username, default's nobody. I'm going to change this to demo. Password is required for admin accounts. So I'll put in my favorite super secret password. I'll confirm the password. Then I'll hit next. Now we need to set up our media libraries. So we'll click Add Media Library, hit the big plus. Now it wants to know what type of content we're going to add. Let's add movies first. So we'll drop down and select movies. What do you want it to be called? Default is movies, which is plenty descriptive. I think that's good. Below we've got folders. Hit the big plus to add your individual movie folders. Earlier when we were setting up the container, we changed the one field so it was /data, and that's where we're going to select our movies and TV shows from. So that's the one we're going to go into. This config here is the app data. We don't want that one. So go into data, select media, and then go down to your movies folder and leave it at that point and hit OK. Next down we have enable library. You see disabling the library hides it from all users. I want to leave it enabled, so I'll leave that selected. Preferred download language, I'm going to select English again. Country region, select your country. I'm in the United States. Next down we have the option to prefer embedded titles over the file names. I do not want that. I'm going to leave that off. Disable different types of embedded subtitles. That's up to you. I'm going to leave them. We'll leave real-time monitoring on. Here we've got the option to automatically add to a collection when at least 2 movies have the same collection name. They'll automatically be added to a collection. I like that feature. I'm going to turn that on. Most of this stuff is good on default. We'll scroll down some more. This option here, save artwork into media folders. I do enable this. What this does is that any TV shows, the extra artwork, actors, actresses, background information for the show, cover art, that kinds of thing. All that stuff's going to go inside of the media folder for the individual movie or TV show. I like to enable this. That way, if I'm going to put in some custom art for a certain, episode or certain, movie series or something like that, it's a lot easier to find it this way. All right, scrolling down. All right, trick play, and there's the chapter images. There's all kinds of stuff. We'll get into some of that later on. So for now, go ahead and hit OK. Now let's add another media library for our TV shows. Go ahead and hit the plus again. Content type, we're going to select shows. Display name's good. Folders, let's browse to our data share for our TV shows. So under data, media, and then find our TV shows. Mine's TV, select that, leave it there, hit OK. Scrolling down, we want to enable it. Once again, select the language, country, special season display name. How do you want the specials to be displayed? By default, it's specials. That's great. I'm going to leave it. These are all good. Scrolling down more. Real-time monitoring, want that enabled. Basically, as soon as files are detected, it'll process them and list it in there. Metadata is good. Scrolling down more. Going down, down. Here we go. We want to save artwork into the media folders again. I'll select that. Once you've got all your options selected that you want, go ahead and hit OK. So now we've got one for movies, one for TV shows. Let's go ahead and add one for photos. Content type, home videos and photos. Display name, I'm just going to change this to photos. Select my folder. It's under data, media. Then I believe got one called photo. Yep, right there. Hit OK. All the default settings in here are going to be good for me, so I'll hit OK. Now let's add one for music. So I'll hit the plus again. Content type is going to be music. Display name, music is fine. We'll browse to our music folder. So media and then music. Then hit OK. Scrolling down, we'll do English again. Region, select your country. Scrolling down some more. Save artwork into media folders. Going to select that one. And that looks good. Hit OK. There's other options in here. If you want to add something else, if you want to add books, you can add in books here. Music videos, mixed movies and shows. Another option that I used to do in the past was I had my movies broke down into different categories. So I had like documentaries and I have comedy things. What do you call those things? Stand-up. That's what I called it. So I had one for documentaries, one for like stand-up and things like that. If I have like a children's category that, when I had little kids, had one for children. That was just that, separated out. You can do that. You don't need to. It's just an option. But I'm good with the 4 basic ones, so I'll back out of here and hit next. Preferred metadata language. Select your language and country of choice. Hit next. Setting up remote access. If you want to enable remote access, this is where you set it up at. We can also do this later. I'm going to leave the defaults and just move on. So hit next. And it says we're done. Hit finish. Now we have to sign in with our user. The one I created earlier was demo with my super secret password. I'll have it remember me and then hit sign in. There you go. There's a basic setup of Jellyfin. At this point, you should be in Jellyfin. You should have some media starting to import. If for some reason your stuff's not showing up or you're having some other issues, You can come join us on Discord. Now that we're in here, let's take a little tour of the interface and see what's what. So under My Media, you've got the different media that we've added, so movies, music, photos, and TV shows. Below that, we've got Next Up, which is upcoming episodes, things that you started watching. It'll be the next episode that's due to be played. And below that, we've got recently added in movies, recently added in music, recently added in photos, and recently added in shows. And those are basically just what they say they are. They are the recently added media that's been added to those different categories. So pretty self-explanatory. Let's take a look at some customization of Jellyfin. In the top right, we're going to go to the little person icon up here. Click onto there. Then from there, we'll go down to administration and then the dashboard. Or the other option is we can go to the hamburger menu up here, click onto there, and then under administration, dashboard there. It's the same thing either way. Dashboard shows you some basic information, what version you're on, any active devices that are connected, different paths in the system, just some basic stuff there. So over on general, here we've got the server name, which right now is a bunch of alphanumeric mixed up stuff. So let's change it to something a little more memorable. I'm going to change mine to Alien Demo. Preferred language, you can set it here. Scroll down to the bottom, and we'll hit save. Next down, we've got users. Here's where you can create users. You hit the little plus to create a new user. If you want to edit one, you click on the three dots. Then you can hit edit user. You can change their name here. You can give remote access. You can allow that user to manage collections. You can allow the user to edit subtitles. You can change access. If you uncheck enable access to all libraries, then you can select which libraries you want them to have access to. Under parental controls, you can select the maximum allowed parental rating. So let's say you don't want anything over PG-13 to be viewed by this user. You just select that, and then Jellyfin will filter out all that stuff. Only show them movies and TV shows and such that are PG-13 or lower. I'm going to select everything, just leave it blank. You can block items with no or unrecognized rating information on certain individual channels. So movies only, TV shows, whatever the case may be. This is the demo account. It's admin. I'm just going to leave it open for everything. Password, you can set the password here. All right, we're all done here. So I'm going to jump over to libraries on the left. We've got libraries right below libraries, which are the libraries we've set up. You can scan all libraries. Each individual library has its own options. You can edit the image, you can manage it, you can rename it, you can force a scan, or you can delete it out. If you want to add another one, it's over on the right here. Next down, we have display. Here you've got options like display specials within seasons they're aired in, which is kind of nice. You can group movies into collections. You can enable external content and suggestions. If you make any changes, make sure to hit save. Next option down, we have metadata. This is the preferred metadata language. You can select your language, the region. If you're having it generate chapter images, you can fine tune that here. 0 sets it to disable dummy chapter generation. Under resolution, you can set it to match the source file. So whatever the source media file is, let's say it's 720, it'll match the chapter image to be at 720. You can override that and select whatever image quality you would like. Hit save. And next we have NFO settings. Here you can enable or disable info metadata. Save user watch data. We can have that here for each individual user. Release date, format, all that stuff. This is all, I just leave it alone, leave it on defaults. Next down we have playback. Within playback, we've got transcoding. This is all the different transcoding options here, so you can just read through this and make any adjustments you need. Usually, the only thing I ever do in here is just set this to whatever video card manufacturer I have and hit save, because everything else seems to just work. But it's nice that you can do a lot of fine tuning in here. Next down, we have resume. All right, in resume, we've got the options to set a lot of individual fine details for what happens when you're going to resume a file or when you get close to the end of one. Basically, if you have a movie, let's say it's an hour and a half long, and you get a half hour into it and you stop, you pause, whatever, at that point, by default, it's going to be not marked as finished. But if you were, let's say, 2 minutes from the end of it and you paused it or you stopped it, then because you're more than 90% done, it's going to consider it watched. It's basically what these options do in here. So you can adjust these up and down. If you just start something for a minute and you're like, yeah, I don't like it, and you stop it, it's going to mark it as unplayed. If you're over 5% in, then it's going to mark it as like continue watching. It's going to be, partially viewed. The maximum side is just the opposite. It's how much of it you've watched. If you've over 90%, then it's going to mark it as watched. Audiobooks have those same options. Next down, we have streaming. We've got the internet streaming bitrate limit. It's going to limit the amount of bandwidth that you have going out to them. If you don't have this set properly, then it's going to try to push as much as it can. It's going to completely saturate your upload bandwidth, and you're going to be just totally out of bandwidth for anything else in the network. I like to set it a little under what my max is. That way there's still some space available for overhead. It all depends on how much your system is going to get used and how much other stuff's going to be going on while you're streaming stuff. If it's just you, then you can probably set that pretty high because you're probably only going to be doing one thing at a time then. If you've got a family full of other people and they're going to be streaming stuff and watching things and this and that, then maybe you want to do half of what your bandwidth is for upload. Once you get it set, go ahead and hit save. Next, we have Trick Play. What Trick Play does is it generates images for preview while you're skipping ahead. So if you're got a movie up and you want to jump ahead a bit, it gives little individual pictures of different scenes and where it's at in the film. It's nice if you jump around a lot, but it does take up a fair amount of space, and it can be pretty processor intensive until everything is generated. All right, next down we have devices. Our devices here, it allows you to manage the connected devices. You can delete them out, change the display name, whatever the case may be. Next down we have activity. This shows the activity of the server, stuff that's playing, any kind of disconnects, any updates, that kind of stuff. Password change. Next down we have live TV. Tuner devices, if you have one, you can hit the plus, you can add one here. If you don't, you can still kind of add one. Let me show you that real quick. Go ahead and hit plus. Tuner type, we're going to drop down and do M3U tuner. And this way we can add M3U streams. Tuner type is M3U tuner. The file or URL, there's a lot of them out there, so I just did some research, dug around, found a couple that worked. I'm going to scroll down, hit save. There you go, we have one added. All right, next down we've got DVR. Here you can set up DVR functions, movie recording paths, series recording paths, that kind of stuff. Once you get everything set, don't forget to save at the bottom. Next down we have plugins. Jellyfin has a bunch of built-in plugins. If you click on My Plugins, it'll show you what's currently installed. Below there you've got the catalog. It's got a bunch of them listed, so you can just kind of dig through there, see if there's anything you like. There's some live TV stuff, metadata, covers, notification system, reports. Let's click on reports and I'll show you how to install it. So you click on reports and you click install. That's pretty much it. Now, if you notice up here, it says the plugin has been successfully installed and the server will need to be restarted for the changes to take effect. So we need to restart Jellyfin. So let's go back to our demo server here and find the list, click on the icon and do restart. All right, once it's back up, let's go back to Jellyfin, go back to the dashboard. We'll scroll down until we find plugins and you'll see reports has been installed. You can also add third-party plugins and I'll leave a link in the description, but for now, let's go check that out real quick. We'll jump over there. That link will take you to the Jellyfin documentation. If we scroll down from plugins here, we've got the official ones. Scroll down some more and you'll find the third party. Keep scrolling, keep scrolling. There it is, third-party plugins. So look through the third-party plugin list here, and let's say we want to add in, how about Themer? It's a plugin for Jellyfin that adds theme songs to movies and TV shows using ThemerDB. If you find one you like, we'll scroll down to the repositories. We'll find it down here. There it is, Themer right there. Copy the repository URL, copy that, go back to our repositories in Jellyfin. We'll hit plus. Repository name, we'll give it a name. I'm going to call it Themer. The URL, we'll paste that in there and hit save. That comes up with a warning. Make sure that you trust these people. I do, so hit OK. Once you've got that in there, over on the left, click on Catalog again. Let's look for it in the list here. And there's Themer, right there in the list. Then from here, you can just go click on it and do what you need to do. Hit install. Yes, you want to install it. Wants to restart again. I'm not going to restart right now. We just did that. But that's how you add different plugins to Jellyfin. After you've got your different plugins installed and you're good to go, over on the left-hand side here, you'll find My Plugins, and this will be the plugins that you've installed. Next to each one of these, you'll have a series of 3 dots. They have different options. Let's see what this one is. This is uninstall. This one is settings, music brains. Let's see what that one is. Settings, reports, settings, disable or uninstall. Different options. Further down, we've got advanced. Under here, we've got networking, API keys, logs, and scheduled tasks. I think the only thing you really need to be concerned with here is scheduled tasks. In here, you can force different tasks to run. All the tasks are set to run at a certain interval, but if you want to force something, this is where you'd go. You'd go into scheduled tasks. Let's say audio normalization. It was last ran 19 minutes ago, taking 6 whole minutes. Let's say you want to force it right now. You just hit the little play button, and it'll force it to run right now. The one I typically use the most is the scan media library. Let's say you added something new and it hasn't shown up yet. You'd come in here, hit the button, let it run. It'd scan for new media. That's kind of all the configuration of Jellyfin. Let's jump back to the main page here and take a look at just basically how it works. Real quick and dirty. Go to the top, we'll click on Alien Demo. It'll take us back to our server. See some of the stuff starting to show up with artwork now. In the main interface of Jellyfin here, you've got the option to play your media, of course. You've got the different media categories broke down: movies, music, photos, shows. All right, let's go take a look at TV shows. Here it shows you all the TV shows that Jellyfin has found from your media library. Got nice cover art for each one. Looks pretty nice. If we go into one, let's say Beverly Hillbillies, since it's public domain, shows you the name of the show, some little background art for it, cover art for the show itself, a little description of what the show's about, some tags, different stuff, comedy, family, studio is released from. Up next, if you've already watched one, it'll show you what's up next. Got the play option. You can look at a trailer. You can shuffle and just do random play of stuff, which I don't know why you do that for a TV show series, but hey, maybe. You can mark it as played. The little heart allows you to add it to your favorites. The series of 3 dots give you more options. You can delete the series. You can download everything. Lots of stuff. Scrolling down a little bit, you'll see the seasons listed here. If you have more than one season, they'd be listed out one after the other. Cast and the crew shows you pictures of them, gives you the actor's name or actress's name with their role that they play in the show. Scrolling down more, it'll show you other shows that are considered similar to this. If you want to watch something, you'd scroll back up, go into the season that you'd like, find an episode that you'd like, and hit play. It's that simple. There you go. We'll stop it here so we don't get any kind of copyright infringements. We'll hit the home to go all the way back to the home. Same thing goes for movies. You go into the movie, find one that you would like. It shows you all the cover art for all the movies. Africa Screams, since that's public domain as well. Once again, cover art, background image, title, some information about the show itself, when it was released, how long it is, the rating on it. And if you started right now, it would end at this time. Once again, same stuff here, play, trailers. You can mark it as played, add it to a favorite, or the other options here. Below there, you've got the video quality and audio quality listed there. Gives you a brief description of what it's about. The tags, once again, cast and crew, and then other things that are considered similar to it. Go back home, music, same basic thing. Find one you like, click on it to play it. Go home again, look at some nice photos, crazy cat, and we'll go home. That's pretty much it. I don't know how you watch your media, but I don't typically sit in front of my PC here and watch stuff or scroll through it on my phone. So what do you use to watch your TV shows? Do you watch everything from a browser, or do you have Chromecast, or is it just built right in the TV? Let me know in the comments. Be interested to find out. I have a Chromecast with Google TV set up on our TV, which works fantastic. I've played around with Roku's, and I really was not impressed by it. It just seemed kind of slow and sluggish, and wasn't for me. So if you're in the market to watch something on your TV, I'll leave a link to the Chromecast. It's a pretty good device. I really enjoy it. I've got both Jellyfin and Plex set up on my server, so I've used both. I use Plex most of the time, but it is nice to have an option in case I need it. And lastly, I just wanted to say thanks to my Patreon members. Your support helps to keep the channel going and is much appreciated. Patreon members get early access to my videos, and they are both ad and sponsor free. If you're not a member, consider joining. I'll leave a link in the description. Until then, check out one of these next, and I'll see you in the next one.